All right, people, Catfish Dave here on the lower end of Watts Bar. Not the best time of day, about 11 o'clock in the morning. Kind of fishing in between feeding times, really. You'll get a morning bite, you can get it right before dark bite. Sometimes you get a bite from increase in flow coming down these reservoirs. We're not gonna have any increase of flow today. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those 4 hours of raw and uncut videos, you know. So, I hope we get on a good bite to keep the attention level high. I've never done a 4 hours of raw and uncut video. I don't, a year ago I would think, why would anyone do such a thing? Who would want to watch such a thing, But obviously people will watch that quicker than they'll watch a 20-minute video, and that does not make sense. Because when you make these videos, say your videos average 20, 30 minutes, you slip an hour-long video in there and you get the complaints, well, this is just too long, blah, blah, blah. Well, if it's 4 hours, you'll watch it though, so go figure. Either way here, the game plan for today is to drag some baits, cover water. I am in a very deep section of Watts Bar Reservoir, and of course the farther you get down these things, the flow tends to get less, especially as the channel gets deeper, because there's more area for the water to go, it just simply slows down. So here we are, September. I am figuring, since we didn't have much rain this year, that these fish are not going to want to be that deep, that the oxygen levels would not want to be that great in that deep of water. So we're going to concentrate in 40 foot or less, and since the channel is so deep here, that eliminates the channel. So we keep an eye on my little map here. Right now we're going to go through a section of, I'm waiting for my blues to kick in here. I don't want to get all hung up here. Looks like we need to steer the boat this way. What I have here is a flat. There's kind of an island dividing the flat from the channel. And looks like we have a lot of 20-footish range water through here. So here's a little hump here. Trying to see exactly where I want to go here. Then we're going to throw some baits. Okay, the channel is definitely to the left here. So that's where we're going to go. Looks like around the other side of this buoy, as a matter of fact. So let's head on over there, and we're going to throw some baits out here. And we're going to try one of these 4 hours of raw and uncut catfish videos. We're going to have a lot of conversation in there in between fish to keep it interesting. And one of the things we can talk about is, why would anyone make a 4-hour raw and uncut fishing video? We'll get to that here in a second. Once I get around this buoy up here, that's the actual channel I want to be in. It's not really a channel, it's just a deeper section coming through this flat here. Good old Garmin Force brushless motor here. We'll cruise this on over there pretty quick. Once we get around this buoy, we're going to hang a right turn. Get my maps a little better here. I sure hope we catch some fish today, because 4 hours of video is a long video. Just past what looked like a school of crappie there, the way they were stacked in about 20 foot. Okay, okay, okay. Slow her down there, old boat. Slow on down here. We're here, y'all. I could go ahead and hang her right. There we go. I'm seeing a lot of rock and stuff along the bank over here. This could be pretty nasty bottom. I'm gonna hit my heading hold button here. The boat is slowing on down. Okay, y'all. Let's go ahead and, one reason I don't do uncut videos is because I spit a lot out of the boat. And typically I would edit that stuff out, you know. People are watching. But hey, I guess everything's gonna be seen today. Crappie style spook, dragon weight, one of those cheap hooks with a bent tip. Yes, sir. I've got some 3-day old skipjack here. Even have some pretty cut up bait here. That's good. We'll start out with a headpiece. This channel is not real wide. I'm looking at the buoys coming in here. It's just kind of a short cut for bass boats and stuff to get downriver without having to go all the way around that island. Save you about a mile of running. Let's go ahead and throw this head out. I may only drag about 3 coming through this thing, because the more lines we got out, the more we're going to get hung up. And it's just not a wide channel, so I'll get the other boards out. Yeah, I can feel it bouncing over like some rock and stuff. It's a little rough down there. Had something break the water right over there. Go ahead and spit again on camera. There we go. Yes, sir. Like I say, an odd hour of the day here. It's kind of going to be in between bites. But this is a very effective method for catching blue catfish. Throw an old center chunk on here. This hook point looks pretty good. It ain't bent. Those old cheap hooks, man. Go ahead and throw this out. Yeah, my bet is because the channel is so deep, they're not going to want to be out there due to oxygen quality. Not going to get super wide with these boards, because what I'm going through, there's actually 2 ways that I could drag this flat. There's a spot here, and there's another spot closer to that island. We may hit them both before we drag some of these other flats, coves, whatever we're going to drag. Once I get these out, I am going to get on my Navionics on my phone, check the area out really good. We're going to establish, of course, what depth the bite is best in while we're doing this. Are we doing best in 20 foot? Are we doing best in 30? Are we doing best in 40? Try to develop a little pattern. And I think I'll throw one straight out the back of the boat here. Typically I don't like dragging straight behind the boat because fish get tangled up, but rolling 0.7 here, and I'm getting a strong breeze. Trying to blow the boat. We may have to drift socket today. I'm gonna spit again. Hurricane has just blew through here, and they are forecasting the wind speed to be a steady 10 mile an hour with gusts, so it's going to get pretty rough out here later. And if that is pushing up the backside of my boat, we're definitely going to get a drift sock out to slow us down. I'm turning my rudder. We're pulling 0.7, trying to correct it, and it's not wanting to correct it because the wind is even stronger than that. Why don't I like to throw a drift sock out dragging? Well, for one, I've never drugged this spot. By the time you throw this drift sock out, say I get hung up, I have to go back and try and pop it loose. First, we got to pull that drift sock. Just adds a lot of time. And, you know, I'm sure people want to see 4 hours of fishing and not 2 hours of that fooling with a drift sock. 20 foot here. I'm gonna let this back rod out pretty much. I'm gonna go ahead and try to speed my boat up here. See if I can use my motor to straighten me out. I want that back rod way out so I've got room to swing those other fish around, assuming we catch anything here through this first spot. I hope we do. It's always nice to have fish in a fishing video. They are forecasting a chance of storms this afternoon, which is one reason I'm fishing at the hour I am. Because if I was to title the video 4 hours of raw and uncut, and I had to go home because of a storm after 2 hours, well, then that's kind of like false advertising your video. So we got to hope it don't storm. And now these 4 hours of raw and uncut that I'm seeing, they're not always 4 hours on the dot. A lot of times they're 3 hours and 40 minutes or something. They could be 4 hours and 20 minutes. But the key to the success of these videos is 4 hours of raw and uncut. And I've studied this. If the same guy puts out just a regular video with a normal title, he might get 20, 30,000 views. But if he puts out that 4 hours of raw and uncut, 68,000 within 100,000 views, sometimes hundreds of thousands of views. He's tried 2 hours of raw and uncut, no dice. They don't go nowhere. 3 hours, don't go, it's got to be 4 hours. So that's what we're going to do. 4 hours of raw and uncut. Dragging baits, spitting out the side of the boat. I don't know what I'm going to do when I have to pee. I guess go up behind the camera. As long as it ain't been cut somehow. Typically I pee, you know, older guy, 57 years old, man. I get to drinking some coffee and got your little prostate issue, man. I can pee 20 times a day, you know. So I guess it's just going to be multiple trips to the front of the boat here. Go ahead and spit again. I'll try to spit that way. That way, y'all don't maybe have to look at it directly. 20 foot. This is pretty shallow area here. I can tell how this rod tip is bouncing. It's rubbly, it's hard, it's rocky. The weight's wanting to stick. It almost got hung up right there. Please don't get hung up. If we start to get hung up, I'll get out of this area because we don't want to see 4 hours of getting unhung. Typically, I would cut that stuff out. I'm going to bump up to 1 mile an hour going through this, y'all. For now. We have not got the first bite. And I'm watching my graph as I go. That's possibly a fish covered up in mud. Look at it, trying to get hung. We are just about hung. No, don't get hung. Please don't get hung. Yeah, I've got a draggable area, or this is going to be a frustrating video to watch. Maybe we'll get to some sandy bottom here in a minute. Right now, it is rock. Well, all right, y'all. Why would somebody want to watch 4 hours of fishing video? Well, maybe some people, in their mind, they wonder, you know, well, these YouTubers, guys making 4 hours of raw and uncut, and even guys like me, when they watch the average YouTube video, they wonder, you know, did that guy really catch all those fish in the same day? You know, is there stuff he's doing that he's not telling us? Editing out of the video to keep us from maybe, you know, catching too many fish. After all, no fisherman wants the other fisherman to catch a bunch of fish, because you go sore lipping all the fish, the fishing gets worse. So maybe these YouTubers are holding back some secrets, you know. That might have been a bite on the right rod, maybe. But I think it's trying to get hung. Yeah, maybe they want to see the whole trip, making sure we ain't hiding information, you know. That could be one reason for it. Now that's rock. Ooh, it's a bouncing hard. Come on, man, let's get out of this spot. This channel is not as deep as I thought it was. We're in 19 foot. But yeah, are we hiding something? Who knows, you know? This way you know what's really going on. You've seen every move we made, except for the part where I pee, because I'm going to go to the front of the boat on that one. But you will see all of the fishing stuff, raw and uncut. How I break down an area. I mean, I'm going to find fish. We're going to catch fish in this video. There's no doubt about that. How long it actually takes. How much experimenting we have to do. We're just going to see. Now, I'm dragging faster than I would want to. But that's just because of all that rock. And also because I'm not totally satisfied with my depth here. I would rather see 25, 30 foot. We're in 19, so I guess I am covering this just a little faster. And just for the record, I have been hit at 1 mile an hour before. Caught big fish dragging at 1 mile an hour. It's typically not the best speed. Typically, you know, 0.3 to 0.7 is what you should be experimenting with the most. Some days they want it extra slow. Some days, you know, 0.7 is just enough to get that bait giving it some action, bouncing, jumping off the bottom, creating some commotion, some noise. And of course, those rattle spooks, as they're hitting that stuff, they give off a little bit of rattling. Could be a blue cat 20 foot away, hear that rattling, and go over there to investigate. You can get big fish in shallow water. He could be up there by the bank and say, "What's that noise?" Well, let's see. So far, y'all, it says this video is 20 minutes long. I've been rattling for 20 gosh dang minutes straight. No sign of bites, just bouncing off rocks. I did see one guy in one of the comments of these 4-hour videos. The reason he liked them is because he played them while he was at work. Gave him something to listen to. So, you know, hey, you're working an 8-hour shift, you watch 2 of those videos, and you done got paid for the day, you know what I mean? Or I think he said he more or less listens to them. And, you know, maybe he is actually working, earning his money somewhat, and he just has that on in the background. Either way, it helps his day go by, you know, 4 hours at a time. Hey, turn one on, eat lunch, turn another one on. It's time to clock out. It's time to go home. So far, the 20-foot bite sucks. And luckily, we're going to start dipping out of it here pretty soon. My guess is we're going to see the most action in 25 to 35 foot today. That seems to be the hot zone, because they want to be somewhat deep, but if they get out there in that super deep stuff with the poor oxygen, you know, the time of year, the oxygen level simply ain't letting them be where they would rather hide out at. Where we're at, 20 foot, up along this bank, this is somewhere they would move in at night. Maybe if we had gotten here like at 6 a.m. and cruised through here till about 9:30, we might have got some fish. They've did their little morning bite. Up, just about hung up there. No, I don't know, that might have been a bite. I don't know what it's doing. Either way, we'll be coming out of this before long. All right, y'all, I've got to stop running the old flipper here long enough to find my phone. And I don't know what I've done with my phone. I don't see my phone. I would like to have my phone. Here it is. Because I want to go ahead and get on my Navionics app, which I haven't paid for in like 6 years. Oh, that's a bite. That's a bite. There we go. And he's running fast back to the boat. Okay. We popped one here in 21 foot, and he feels decent. This is a Watts Dinky Boar, so trying to get around the small fish. He feels good so far. I hope he's hooked good. This is at 1 mile an hour. Matter of fact, since it is at 1 mile an hour, let me slow the boat down to about 0.3, 0.2 even. Make it easier to land this fish. I got a pontoon boat flying through here. Yay, they're waving. There we go. First fish of the day. All right now, don't play no music that's gonna get me demonetized. That's another reason that someone might not want to do an uncut video. I'll explain that in a second. Yeah, I gotta talk over that radio so I don't get copyright violation. Blah, blah, blah. First fish of the day. Let me see how long the camera's been rolling here. 25 minutes. Hold still, old blue catfish. I'll tell you what, another reason I cut videos sometimes, edit them, is I've seen some of these fish take a while to get the hook back out. These things have some big barbs on them. Come on, man. About got hung up there. Yeah, normally I cut all this out. We are hung up. We are hung up. Yes, sir. We're gonna get out of this. So he's so feisty and ornery. Got some big teeth on him. We're hung up, y'all. Got it loose. Ouch! He just chomped me. Got some teeth on that thing, man. Yeah, normally I would cut all that hook set stuff out. I mean, getting the hook out. That's another thing I cut out, is I get my words miscombobulated or whatever. And I can cut that out and re-say it. Make it to where I don't sound dyslexic. Dyslexic. Either way, we're hung up, y'all. So what you get to witness is the real amount of time that it's going to take me to get this line untangled. And here again, if we were running a drift sock, I'd have to pull that thing in first. Right? Pull the board off. Yes, we are hung. I knew it was a rough area. But yeah, speaking of that boat playing the music, they come by here blaring that stuff. And I've actually had a video demonetized because I was bank fishing actually. This girl had come out there. She was drinking a little bit. Coughing. I normally cut that out. But yeah, she was drinking a little bit. She had this old boom box. And so she was playing the radio. And of course that song came over into my video and I got copyright violation. Don't feel like we got any bait here. And I did see what looked like a bite, so. No, we got it. This was a headpiece. Means we caught the first fish on a chunk, which means the chunk ain't junk. And that's good, because I got more chunks than I do heads. See all this stuff, man. I normally cut it out. Who would want to watch it? Okay, y'all, let's go through the process of popping this thing loose. We have to turn the prop off, crank the motor, and a lot of times, it just depends on what you're hung up on. But a lot of times I can pop these things loose if I reverse it. Now, if it's caught in a trot line, bunch of somebody's tangled up braided line or whatever, a lot of times we don't get the rig back. And a lot of times you just lose the hook, but see all this would normally get cut out of a regular Catfish Day video. We're just gonna leave it all in there. Raw and uncut. Get right behind this thing. And if we do break off, well, y'all get to watch me tie a rig, sit through that. Again, something I would probably normally cut out of a video, because you would think with YouTube, you would just want the action-packed stuff. Instead, you're going to get it all. Maybe that's why some people like it. It just shows the reality of the trip. Come on. This area is pretty rough here. I knew it was the way my rods were bouncing. We're still not there. And that's because I had a lot of line out. I'd love to get this loose without breaking off. I don't have to spit yet, or I would right on camera. Come on. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a line, because usually if it's a line, it starts bouncing up and down, all that stuff. Okay, we may have got it. Probably just a really big couple of rocks. It probably wedged between two rocks. And since I've got this up, I'm gonna get a little farther off of this 20-foot rocky area. We're gonna come out here some more. Yeah, man. Normally you don't have to watch all this in a regular Catfish Day video. So what do we got here? It is 32 minutes into this trip at a not great time of day. One fish in the boat. Go ahead and turn my prop back on. One fish in the boat. And pulling lines in. All that good stuff. We will see better times during this trip. We're going to find areas where we're hooking more fish and getting hung up less. This is just what happens, man. Fishing a brand new spot. Never pulled this. What is that? Big wad of something there. I want to say that's a big school of gizzard shad. Okay, y'all. I want to make sure I'm away from what we were just at, because I have pulled loose and threw right back into the same thing. Let's move out of that a little bit. We'll throw them again, man. One fish in the boat, and I can feel myself getting ready to have to peek. Go ahead and slow down here. We'll throw them out again. I don't think we're out of the bad area myself. I think we'd be better off on a nice smooth flat somewhere, but we're gonna fish this while we're here. And the plan was to get on my phone once I found my phone, but when I did find my phone, I was hung up or I'd got a bite, something happened. Kept me from looking at my phone. But I wanna look at my phone and go ahead and make a plan for the rest of the day here. Get a good view of where I'm at and the fishing possibilities. And here again, by guessing with the conditions, I'm going to say we need to be in 25 to 30 foot for the best bite. I am missing a bait off here. See if I got one cut. I do. We'll throw it out there. See, I would normally edit that out. Not in this video. Hope I don't fart real loud, because it'll be on camera. Okay, we're getting deeper, 23 foot. I like that. I like that. I think we're gonna work this island first. Here again, there's another channel over here going the other way. I think we need to hit that and then go to a different flat. "23 foot, yeah, we're getting a little deeper. I like to see it that. This very back rod lets me know what the bottom is really like. See, we about got hung up there that quick. If I get hung up 2 more times, we're getting off this area here. Just because it is a video, and we can't spend too much time getting unhung on video, even though that would be a good way to chew up some video, since this video has to be 4 hours long. Tried to do it there. Trying to do it. This is some rough area. Okay. I see I need to be around these buoys up here. Like I say, y'all, we're gonna hit a hotter spot, and I don't know where that's gonna be at, but it might not be here. And then again, we could get a monster here. I like this because of all the, there's a ton of these humps and these like dips and valleys in between the humps. Blue cat seem to like that kind of stuff, so at least the bigger fish. You would get a bigger fish in a rougher area like this with all the humps and valleys than what you would find on a straight flat that's nice and smooth. One time I do find big fish on a nice smooth flat. There's a lot of times right in front of these creeks and coves as you're going across the flat. A lot of times the areas between the creeks and coves will get deader, and then you'll come in front of that creek mouth and see a series of bites. This is just what I've noticed over the years. Pleasure boat. We just about got hung up there. Yeah, there's so many rocks and snags through here. When I first seen that bite, man, I thought it was hung up, but it wasn't. My guess is we're here at such a bad hour. The best bite is going to be before we leave, due to it just getting away from that noon hour a little bit. 24 foot. This is more the depth I like to be in. Trying to get hung up there. And I'm going to slow the boat. No. Thank you. Woo. Yeah. Okay, now that was a decent sized catfish. We come right over him on the screen. And here we're going through like this valley, this channel of all these humps and blah, blah, blah. We went over a good one there. I'm gonna slow the boat down to 0.7 now. that we're getting into better water depth. We're now reading 25 foot. Just hope we don't get hung up, because this is nasty. Nice looking cove over there, but that's shallower than I want to be. You know, some of these coves, the whole thing, the deepest part of it might be 6-8 foot. Some of these coves, they got 40-50 foot of water in them. They are not all created equally. And now we're going to get back to finding my phone, wherever that's at, now that I've lost it. And I'm going to go ahead and map out a plan while we're fishing, while we're dragging. That's normally what I do. In a regular video, I just cut all that stuff out. Another smaller fish tight to the bottom. So we're passing fish. Will they eat at 11:50? It's kind of a weird time of day. Another boat. Okay, I'm seeing a lot smoother channel out here, or smoother flat. It is 40 foot of depth though. I don't know if I like that. Let's check this area out here. There's some more 40 foot flat here. I'd rather see 30 foot if I could. Okay. There's a nice looking creek there. 35 foot of water all the way back to it. That's another fish on the screen. 2 fish right on the bottom. Smaller cats, but definitely by the color and how close to the bottom they are cats. More of a reddish purplish color. Snaking our way out of this thing. 27 foot now. One thing that can be hurting us is the direction I'm going, and you may think that's crazy, but it is not. I get my best bites dragging either going upriver or into a cove, basically, or an area like this where it's going from deeper to shallower. I do best getting bites if I was going the opposite way. See, we came in right and we were dragging the right direction because it got deeper to shallower, and that's where we caught that fish. And now we're leaving out the opposite of when I usually get the best bites, which is technically, from what I've seen in all the years of doing this, we'd be better off dragging this way. But hey, I have caught fish doing this. And I'd just rather keep lines in the water, since this is 4 hours of raw and uncut. 43 minutes in, 1 fish. We're gonna find a better situation here. We're gonna find a better bite. And if we don't, that's all right. That's what people want to see. They want to see the reality of this stuff, I guess. 26 foot. Come on, fishy, fishy. Come on, fishy, fishy. And we just about, well, we hit a rock there on that right board. It's funny, this left board hasn't got hung one time, hasn't stuck one time, or has it? No, it was this middle rod. All right, y'all, the heat is picking up. We're getting close to the noon hour, 11:50 something. That's what I call the hour of suck. I typically have the least luck, and I guess it's really not a good time to film 4 hours of raw and uncut video, but I'm just not a morning guy, you know. By the time I get up, get my coffee, my ATM card did not work at the Weigels, and I had to go in and prepay inside, go through line, blah, blah, blah. Ever since I got a new ATM card, that's been happening at just one store. Works everywhere else flawlessly. At that one store that I want to get my 100% gas, my ATM card hasn't worked. First they said, yeah, we're having problems. So I waited a few days and went back thinking maybe they fixed them. No, we're still having problems. In other words, you don't care. You're not even going to tell the manager, and I'm just not going to get my gas there no more. Because I ain't got time for that. 27 foot. What I expect to see is periods of nothing and then probably multiple rods going off in a certain area. Lately these fish have been bunched, you know. Post spawn, the bites are more spaced more frequently. There goes that dag blasted phone. Normally I would have cut that out, but it's in this video. Yeah, post spawn bite right after they get off the nest. It's just one fish after another, and they're everywhere. They're out in the channel. They're everywhere. They're feeding up. These fish now, you go through all this dead water, and then they're all bunched up when you hit them. Then you go through more dead water, and they're usually all bunched up. That fish up there, I think he was just lost. And, he didn't go with the rest of the crowd. But out here, that's probably what we will see. And I am pulling the wrong direction. All right, y'all. Go ahead. Turn a little to the left. Once we get out here, we're going to make a turn and go back up this other section. Then we will be going the right direction. Now, if this was one of my regular videos, me knowing this is not the direction to be going, I would have probably just pulled the boat out here, cut that out, and then drug back in. But we don't have time for that. And I'm doing it just to see if I can get hit going this way. It's rare. I should be going from the deeper into the shallower, but occasionally I do get hit like this. There we go. 32 foot. One thing y'all will get to see is just how bad the hour of suck really is. I always talk about it on my videos, but I will edit that hour out, you know. All right, y'all, while the fish ain't biting, let's talk about why somebody would want to make a 4-hour raw and uncut video. Okay. Well, it's like this. We had another local YouTuber come up, and he's kind of ain't put much out lately. He got into the selling the skipjack so much he crashed his algorithm, and it was just too much temptation not to sell those skipjack, because the YouTube videos were not paying as much. So, but either way, he crashed his algorithm, worried about selling skipjack. I would have looked at the big picture and been worried about my YouTube channel, because skipjack are seasonal. There's times of the year you can't catch them, and you're gonna, or there's times of the year people don't want to buy them. They're not fishing, you know. So yeah, that was kind of a dumb move. But why would somebody want to make such a long video? Well, that same YouTuber, the bait seller, he was making longer videos, right? And well, I heard the 4-hour raw and uncut guy make a comment that he was upset because this other YouTuber, who was a newer YouTuber, a much smaller channel, was getting paid a higher rate. In other words, more money per 1,000 views. Well, the 4-hour raw and uncut guy, he thought he was just being cheated, right? They like some people more than others, and they're going to treat some people better than others. But the fact is that YouTube is about ads. And so this other guy was making 20 to 30-minute videos, and this other guy was making hour and something videos. So this other guy, in other words, was getting more ads put in a video. So now he is getting paid a higher amount per video per 1,000 views. I took a big algorithm drop myself. I'd hit 100,000 subscribers, and that's the time you're supposed to go, right? That's the time you're supposed to get on it. The summer's when you make most of your money. And here we are, I hit 100,000 at the beginning of the summer, and everything started going wrong. Trolling motor went down, ended up buying another one of those. My vehicle went down, was in the shop a month. Lower unit went out. I was down over a month. Over that, I finally bought a whole new motor. And just to pull the lower unit off. And here we are getting into the fall transition, and I'm going again, but I killed my algorithm. How did I know it was killed? Man, I'd put girls that had a chest this big on the videos, right? Doing all this stuff that would normally get 1 million views, and I wasn't getting no views. I had slipped out of that algorithm. If they're not getting seen, people ain't gonna click on them. Well, bottom line is, the kayak guy figured out, I think it was just bum luck, actually. I don't think he figured the whole longer videos pay more thing. I think he was in this slump, and no matter what happened, no matter how good the title was, no matter how good the thumbnail was, it wasn't going viral. He worked hard, super hard, and it just, no matter what he done, I was getting more viral videos than he was. And I think he just said the hell with it one day. Said, I'm not even gonna edit this thing and just throw it out there. And by chance, the thing just exploded. Well, he made it some more regular videos, and they didn't do that great. So he said, well, hell, this worked. I'm gonna do it again. And it just exploded. And every now and then, he'll put out a regular title, and doesn't do that much. So it's at the point now, every video is 4 hours of raw and uncut. But hell, why wouldn't he do that? Because you look down there, and every time he's getting these huge amounts of views on them. Huge. And see, this is the thing. If I make a 20-minute video, right? And it's probably gonna get paid about $10 per 1,000 on average. $10 per 1,000 views. Well, now if I make an hour-long video, well, there's 20 minutes, it's 3 times in an hour. I have tripled the amount of money that that video makes per 1,000 views. So now let's take 4 hours times 3. So he's earning 12 times the amount of money per 1,000 views. And that's because there's a lot more ads in there, right? 12 times the amount of money. And get this, they're all going viral. Every one of them is getting a lot of views. So there's no telling what kind of money this guy is making now. You know, and I figured that out a little bit. And you've seen me, after I got into my slump, well, I went from the 20-minute video to the 45-minute video. And because my channel, after I got in that slump, is getting less views than it did 3 years ago, total views. But my money is the same because I increase the video time. You're seeing a lot more 40, 45 minutes. Sometimes they're only 30 minutes because there's a bite. I've been editing mine. I feel sorry for people having to watch all this in between stuff. I'm like, you know, I ain't gonna do that to somebody. But it seems like that's what they want. So, because you put one of those out, now I don't know what's gonna happen when I put mine out. I don't have a clue. The other guy that I mentioned, the skipjack seller, he tried one 7 hours, raw and uncut, and it didn't go nowhere. Last time I looked, I think it got like 1,500 views. Now that's quite a bit of money still, because it's 7 hours long. But he didn't get 48,000, 100,000, 300,000 like the other guy. Why? Because it's like I explained earlier. 2 hours didn't work, 3 hours didn't work. It's that 4 hours. So you're putting 7, dude. No. It has to say 4 hours. So that's where you slipped up. So mine is gonna say 4 hours. I don't care if I don't catch another fish the rest of this gosh dang day. I'm gonna get a 4-hour video out of this, and I'm gonna upload it, and it will get 12 times the amount of revenue as a typical 20-minute video. That's what typical fishing videos are on YouTube, right? And some are a lot shorter than that. But yeah, that's why there's 4 hours of raw and uncut videos out there. And see here, not only is it making 12 times the money, he doesn't have to edit them. I don't have to edit this. You know, don't matter how bad I botch my words up. You know, it just don't matter. Don't matter how many times my lines get tangled. Don't matter if we don't catch a fish. I don't have to edit this, you know. And I'm just going to tell you, if I take my typical 30-minute video or whatever, 20 to 30 minutes, even 45, I go home, I plug that into a computer. It literally takes, there might be 4 or 5 hours of footage on that video, and it can take several hours just to upload onto the computer. And then I spend another couple hours going through it, cutting everything out, and then that video can take another 2 hours to upload onto YouTube. And so if I go home at the end of the week with 2 or 3 videos to edit, I literally spend my whole entire day from morning to night behind a computer, waiting for this to get on the computer, waiting for this one to upload onto the channel, because you can't upload 2 at a time, or I've done that once, it messes everything up. And I've wasted a whole day editing. That day of editing, I could have made a 4 hours of raw and uncut bait trip, or a 4 hours of raw and uncut catfish trip 3 times, easy, you know. That's why it's being done. No editing. plug that thing into the computer, go out there and make you a 4 hours bait trip, man. Get 100, 200,000 views because it's 4 hours long. You know, go figure, right? There's a bite, 31 foot. What I think is going to happen is once we get closer to the actual channels, I think that's where we're going to see our bulk of our fish. I think they're going to be up in the shallow, close to the channel ledge. And we're starting to get that. We're starting to get at a point where I'm going to turn the boat the proper direction to get bit. Because right now we're not. We're going backwards. Matter of fact, I'm going to start turning the boat now. But you see why this is getting done? 12 times the amount of money per 1,000 views, plus it's going viral. So it's getting a ridiculous amount of views at 12 times the money per 1,000 views. And then there's no editing time. Go out, spend that day making more 4 hours of raw and uncut videos. Make people have to sift through all this stuff. That's what they want to do, obviously, because that's what they're clicking on. But either way, yeah, his channel was in a slump. He started doing that. And I'd be willing to bet the dude's making $1 million a year now. Putting out 4 videos like that a week, getting that kind of hours. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I'm in a slump, and I could make 100,000, you know, in a slump. So yeah, oh yeah, with 20, 30-minute videos. Yeah, there's some dollars involved here. So that's what we're gonna do for at least one video, and it may flop. I don't know. It may just be. I don't know how it's going to work. We won't know until we do it. Okay, now we're getting the boat turned a better direction. There's a big fish. So you can see, if you're understanding what I'm saying, why someone would want to put out video after video of all the same title, 4 hours in raw, because that's what's making it. It don't make a lick of sense. You know, all these people will tell you short videos do better and all this other stuff. Obviously not. But yeah, my editing is for the courtesy of the viewer to cut all this crap out. Hearing some breaking water. Sounds like some surface striper activity to my right. I had bought a bunch of striper gear to keep in the boat just for that when I see those stripers break. And I spent a lot of money ordering online, stopping at Big Fish Outfitter, buying different things, getting all these different boxes. Some was topwater stuff, some was more bucktail jig type for bouncing off the bottom. You know, I got all this stuff, several rods for it. And someone broke in my vehicle and stole all that stuff. So I never implemented all that. But yeah, that's something else that I may cut out of a video. You're sitting out here and you just see big stripers busting certain times of the year. That's what happened to me. Kind of cured me of wanting to do too much striper fishing. Unless, of course, I make $1 million a year doing 4 hours of raw and uncut videos, then I'll buy the striper gear back. Okay, we're getting the boat turned. Now we're going the direction we should be going, which is more of an up current direction. And here again, y'all, this is the hour of suck, and I've told y'all about that. Typically, I would edit this out. You just hear me talk about it. But here, there's some fish. Here you get to live the hour of suck with me, right out here today. Let's see what time it is. I've been flapping the gums for a while. It's 12:14. And here again, why would somebody want to do 4 hours of raw and uncut? Because with the nature of videos, you know, you need to keep something going. So through these dead spots, man, you've got to just flap your gums a whole bunch. And do that every video. Flap them gums, flap them gums, flap them gums, you know. And yeah, I'm a quiet person. I don't like flapping my gums that much. You know, people that's been around me, he's the quiet one in the room, you know. And if I do this stuff, I've got to come out here and flap my gums for 4 hours. Flap, flap, flap. One thing that could happen, which would jack this whole video up, is if this camera overheats. Sometimes the battery quits taking a charge when the battery gets hot. I have to keep an eye on this thing. That happens all the time. Camera shuts off. I edit all that out. I'm cussing about it, rehooking it up. And I figured out when it stops taking, if I'll just take that battery out and then flop another battery in, it'll start taking a charge again. It's because that battery is, the battery is actually what's making the camera so hot. One of the things. I figured that out a couple weeks ago. DJI problems. It's taken a while to get used to the thing. Some more surface activity. Way out there. All right, y'all. Y'all get to endure the hour of suck with me here. Like I say, once we get out of this, it should pick up. And I would have made a lot better video had I got out here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Got away from that hour of suck. I know I would have. And what I might do is do another 4 hour of raw and uncut at a better time of day. Okay, I'm gonna ease my way up into this other channel here. Try not to get hung up. Pulling 0.7. All right, y'all, let's see what's in the cooler here. The 4 pieces of watermelon. Got some cheese in here. Had Bojangles before I got out here. Go ahead and eat a piece of cheddar now. Got some Swiss, got some pepper jack, cheddar, and Colby jack. I'm no fan of Swiss. Unfortunately, it's one of the flavors they put in here. Yeah, man. Very slow at the hour of suck. Always is. On the other side of the river, we have a much deeper flat, 40 foot. We've got a deeper creek over there. I've already checked it out. Got another big flat around the bend up here going into several creeks, so that might be an interesting area. Might be where they're at. And that's, of course, if the thunderstorms don't run us off. Because if this video is only 2 hours long, I can no longer say 4 hours raw and uncut. So I hope that rain holds off. Made a piece of Colby Jack here. And we're going to think of another subject to flap the old gums about. Going to be a lot of flapping today, especially as slow as it is. And here again, it's September. It's not a great bite. We are between the post spawn and the fall bite. Could we catch a big fish? Absolutely. We're just not going to see the numbers, and the fish are going to be tighter together. Once we find them, we will find them. Yeah, boy. All right, y'all, what's a good subject for some gum flapping? Oh, yeah. Yeah. People treating YouTubers, there's a bite, like they're celebrities. And some of these guys eat it up and they act like they're a celebrity. I mean, to the point of using it to take advantage of people. I've seen that happen. I'm just the same dude I always was. The only difference is I'm rolling a camera, flapping my gums on camera. And if I wasn't on camera, I wouldn't be flapping my gums at all, because I'm a quiet guy. But you have to flap your gums in a 4-hour raw and uncut video. We got a small one just playing with us. But yeah, people do treat YouTubers like celebrities. You know, they see them on their TV screen. And a lot of people, yeah, I post a lot of fish pictures. You know, they think, man, that guy's great. It's about, you know, how great am I? It's about where you fish and how much you fish it. Don't know if that makes you great or not. But yeah, I've actually had women online message me, you know, supposedly all in love with me. And yeah, there was this one old gal. She was from Chicago, and not bad looking girl, but she was convinced that we were meant to be together, right? She's seen me on video, She's seen how I act on video. And I guess she got this fixation or whatever. Now me, being an older guy, being around, around the block a few times, I assumed that this girl was sort of the reason she thought she loved me was because, did he stick? Yeah, the reason she thought she loved me was because she seen me on the TV screen, right? And she was probably thinking I had a lot of money. Can't tell what we got. Don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad. So I expected some sort of or suspected some sort of gold digger activity out of this girl. And, she thinks she's in love with me because I've got something. Blah, blah, blah. Another fish. Second one of the day, and that was caught during the hour of suck. But here again, we're pulling the right direction now. So I questioned this girl, And here again, I could have took total advantage of this girl because she was fixated on me. She was in love with me, blah, 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 right? So I finally said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna put an end to all this right here. And what I done was, I had a conversation. I said, well, I had a conversation with her, and I told her that I wasn't what she seen on camera. I made her believe I was dirt poor, didn't have no money. Go ahead and say hi. And lo and behold, the thing she said to me changed. The amount of times she texted me changed. She would call me, and that stopped. Now she'd still talk occasionally, every once in a while. Once in a blue moon, she'd be in between guys, and she would be all lonely or whatever. She'd talk about coming down here, but yeah, it was just a total change in her once I told her I didn't have nothing. And oh yeah, she would send me pictures. So once I seen the change, what bait was that on, y'all? That was on a chunk. Once I seen the change in her, I kind of started to call her out on it a little bit, but without directly calling her out on it. And I could ask her to send me a picture now, and I wouldn't get no pictures. Here again, you ever seen when I was a kid, there was a movie called, what was it, Coming to America or something, some Eddie Murphy movie. But it was this guy. He was some rich king or prince or something somewhere. And of course, he was supposed to marry another rich woman, marry into royalty, blah, blah, blah. But he wanted to come to America, and he wanted to get a regular job sweeping floors, and he wanted to meet a woman that would marry him, thinking he was just a regular guy with a regular job. In other words, he wanted to meet a woman that really wanted her for him. And in the movie, of course, he finally meets the girl. And at the end of the movie, he basically tells her he's rich at that point. But what he got was a real woman that actually meant what she said, not some old gold digger. Yeah. Yeah, man. I've been around the block. These women will tell you anything, man. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good women out there. But they're at my age, if their husband ain't died, they're married. They found somebody good. And yeah. They are taken because someone else seen that they are a good woman. And they are not on the market. Okay, y'all. That fish was in, I don't know how, okay. Ooh, I need to go right here. We're gonna turn a hard right. I wanna come up this channel. 2 fish in the boat. And I don't think I'm pulling the most active area. The reason I'm pulling this is because of all the humps and dips. That's why I'm pulling it. I believe I can pull out here to one of these smooth flats and just start boating fish, but we're pulling this rougher stuff first. Not at a good time of day. I hope the rain stays at bay, because this video has to be at least 3 hours and 45 minutes long. But yeah, I had this other girl message me once. Cute little old thing. Well, the other one was nice looking. Little short blonde girl. And hang on a second. Bottom line, she's a big fan of mine, blah, blah, blah. She's basically telling me how great of a woman she is and showing me these pictures, saying, don't I look good for my age? And she did. Well, she was messaging me on the there goes the phone. Normally I would edit that out. She was messaging me on the Instagram. And so I look her up on actual Facebook. And there she is, in her profile picture, laid up with some dude. She's got a boyfriend serious enough she wants the whole world to know about it. But yet, she's messaging me, all in love with me, wanting to meet me somewhere. Here again, it was the image of who I was to her. I'm on her TV screen. Yeah, there's a lot of people that follow me, they friend request me, they message me, they want to fish with me. But you get this image out here that you're somebody better than somebody else or whatever, and we're not. But either way, that old boy she worked with probably just worked a job, and she was starstruck, and she wasn't being, you know, I wouldn't want a girl like that. I'm all over her Facebook, and then she's wanting to meet someone else. So I blew her off. Oh yeah, she gave me her number, I think, and expected for me to give her hers. I never did. And once she realized I blew her off, well, that kind of ticked her off. But yeah, no, you have opportunities out here. Being on the screen, but here again, the opportunities weren't with nobody you would want. In my opinion on that is my experiences through life is anytime I have dated a female that they were the aggressor, They actually picked me up. They didn't turn out to be too trustworthy. Typically, that would be the type of woman that I would date, because I am not a people person. I am not outgoing. I am not likely to approach a girl out in public or make that first move. It's just not my, what do you call it? I'm I forgot what the word is. Introvert, yeah, very introverted. So you go through so long like that, and then here's some girl just trying to pick you up, and she looks dang good. You know, heard you've been introverted all this time, ain't done nothing in a while. Well, you go with it, you know. And so I've had my experiences with that type. But yeah, you get opportunities out here. I'm gonna spit again. Surprisingly, I mean, I do have to pee right now, but it's not so bad that I'm just gonna go up to the front of the boat and do it. It's just not that bad. As we come up into this area, I'm expecting, oh man, we're way up on a hump here. I am expecting to get hung up a little more. We're probably gonna do half the trip here, even though the bite isn't hot. But I don't think the bite is hot because of the area we're in. I think it's not hot because of the time of day we're here. I think it has a potential of putting out a big fish. So while we're here, before we jump over to one of these other flats, I want to fish this. Fish number 3. You can tell by all the bang, 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 it's not a big fish. This fish number 3 though. He was up on one of those slopes, one of those humps. I'm basically, that back rod is dragging through a valley, and these 2 planer boards are going over some humps and some slopes. It's a good way to get hung up. It's also a good way to run into some fish. Come on, old blue cat. Nothing on the head, y'all. It's been all chunks. I need to be putting a fan on that camera because I can't have it shut off on me during a raw and uncut video. I don't know if that would ruin the video or not. If it would still be considered raw and uncut. I guess it would, as long as I turned it right back on and I didn't cut nothing out. Old dinky. Watch bars full of these. Go ahead and spit again. See, I always edit that part out in a regular video. But today, I don't care. Come on. There we go. Yeah, these hooks have some serious barbs in them. And the de-hooking process can take a while. There's my phone going off again. There, popped right out. Keep an eye on my boat here because I want to keep it on course. And this thing is snaking around through this area. It's definitely not a straight line drag. That was on the head. Okay. I thought that head was on the back rod. See, this back one's trying to get hung up. I'm gonna spit again. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had one girl on my videos, and it's been a while. She was from the Carolinas, and she was actually, I met her in Santee Cooper, and she was actually with her boyfriend at the time. Pose there. Gosh dang you. Now see, normally I would edit that out. There you go. You act all funky and that's what you get. But yeah, she was with her boyfriend. And the way she come running up to me and blah, blah, blah. You know, it probably didn't make him feel too good. Of course, we are no longer friends on Facebook. He used to be a fan of my videos. I ended up with a brief dating her just a tiny bit. And here again, she was the aggressor. Now, she was broke up. It was like a year later that I'd actually got with her. She had done broke up with him. And I would not hit on her while they were dating, you know. After they broke up is when all that happened. I think I put the wrong board on. It's okay, it still works. I was running red. Hey, maybe that'll increase our luck. Let me put this fan on here, y'all. See, normally I would cut this out of the video, doing all this. Because at 86 degrees, I stand a chance of this camera cutting off. It's not total direct sunlight, so. We got the fan on there a little bit. I'd like it to be closer than that. Yeah. Oh shoot, I'm going way, way up on this hump. No, 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 no. We're gonna get hung up. Hung up. I'm looking for this left board to get hung here. Okay. Y'all, the rain chances are building. But yeah, she, you know. Oh yeah, I'll tell you how that ended. Because I'm not the type of guy that, in other words, I catch on real quick if you're not being straight up with me. But she was wanting to come up here on weekends. And she had told me about some family reunion or something. And she wanted me to go to it. Okay, so when the time came, she had changed her tune. And she didn't want me going down there to where she was. I said, okay. Well, at the same time that she does not allow me to go down to where she is, we're hung up, I believe, y'all. I knew it's possible to get hung up there. Yeah, we're hung. Let's see if I can pop it. Yeah. Okay, I got it up. She got mad because on the same weekend that I can't go see her, I didn't invite her to come see me. In other words, she was still willing to come here. So that looked a little shady to me. It seemed like, see how that board's turning the wrong way? I spun the boat real hard. Sometimes you got to relax it and get it to turn the right way before you put tension on it again, then it'll straighten out. Yeah, it's very possible those two have crossed up. Very possible. Just in case they have, I'm gonna turn this one in or pull it in See, I get my words backwards and I would normally edit that out. But yeah, that seemed a little shady to me. Not letting me go down there that particular weekend. And it's a good thing I checked it because, looky there, y'all. Pulled my hook off. These hooks, cheap hooks, have this oil base. And I have went back to a clinch knot. And I noticed the clinch knots were pulling. They weren't cinching, okay, slipping. So I started double looping the clinch knots. And with that oil base on them, they'll still slip sometimes. I actually lost a good fish on it due to the hook coming off like that. Okay, slow this boat down. But yeah, you can meet people doing this. Nobody I've wanted to meet, but it can happen. Okay, y'all. Go ahead. I've got another rod I can throw out the middle while I am waiting to tie this one back up. Got a couple extra rods here. So we'll just get this out of the way for now. We'll throw a bait on it. 3 fish, 2 have came on the chunk, so I'm gonna throw a chunk on. We do have a head bait out there. So I don't consider this to be an active area, but I do believe there is some big fish hiding in this. Doesn't mean they're gonna hit this time of day. While that's getting drug out, because I want it a ways past them other ones. Go ahead and get me another one of these cheap hooks. And I won't say where they're from because YouTube, the media, blah, blah, blah. You're not allowed to say anything bad about someone or anything like that. So we won't say where they're from. I already deal with that on my Facebook. Okay. Go ahead and tie another one. I'll double loop it. Hope it don't slip. First time I lose a real monster like that, I'm gonna be mad. And I'm getting ready to change hooks. I'm gonna check out. I like the design of these, but they rust. The tips rust. The tips bend on you. 2 or 3 fish and you got a bent tip. So I'm definitely looking for something different. I have heard or seen some hooks called a triple threat by Whisker Seeker. And it seemed like the one time I looked at that hook, I liked it. Someone showed one to me, so I may check them out. See if I have less problems like I'm having. These are a cheap Daiichi copy. And the design is great. And the materials absolutely suck. So I've got a double loop going through here. I believe we got bit right there. And I put extra wraps going up these things to keep them from slipping. Typically a regular clinch knot, 3 wraps and it's gonna hold, but not with these old oily hooks. And the reason they put the oil on them is to keep them from rusting. They still rust. I hate these hooks. Good hookup ratio when it's brand new and not bent, not rusted, but they just have their issues. Put plenty of spit on here. Because I got a lot of loops on here. Now I gotta slide this other loop up. Yeah, it's trying to slip. Pull tight on here. Okay. Pull that tight. Yeah, it still wanting to slip, man. I got all them wraps, 2 loops, all oily stuff. I'm gonna cut some extra tag on that. Turn the boat right. Well, y'all, we are out here at the worst time of day to be doing this. We've got 3 in the boat. Still in the same area, which hasn't produced that much, but here again, I think there could be a big fish in here, is why I'm doing it. I'm gonna leave some extra tag on it this time. There we go. I've got nail clippers all over the place. I buy 6 or 7 pairs at a time, and I can usually only find about 1 or 2 pairs no matter how many I buy. It's my little coffee can with my leader material. And we'll go ahead and get this tied up. Turn the clicker on it so the spool don't go crazy when I loosen it. Spit again. Okay, y'all. You know what? I done put my clippers up too fast. I've got to do this. I'm gonna fart real quick. Yeah, I don't believe you could hear that. It's a good thing because we can't cut anything out. It was one of them silent farts. Silent. Yes, sir. One thing I could do is, I got a bite, get some cleaner and try to get that oil off them hooks. Of course, once you do that, you're gonna put them in the water one time, they're gonna be rusted the next day because they're crappy materials. Keep me from losing any big fish, and I could just use them one time, one day. But I think I'll just change hooks. I'm gonna look them whisker seekers up. I'll order me a few of them. Now, I can tie a clinch on this Demon Dragon with just a few wraps and it will never slip because there's not oil all over it. And whatever this Demon Dragon is made of, it don't rust. There we go. Only took a few wraps to cinch that because it don't have that oil all over them. Yeah, I'm just a common sense kind of guy. We had a bite there. you know, you're gonna make a hook that rusts to begin with. That's not common sense, that's just ignorant. And then you're gonna put an oil on that hook to keep it from rusting, which causes knots to slip and causes you to lose. I lost a big fish over that the other day. I was fishing at a much better time of day. I was in the late afternoon and I was smoking some fish actually. Lost 2 big fish that day. But yeah, that's just serious lack of common sense. 2 different ways. And so, whoever these people are, I'd rather not give them my money. Because they're causing me issues out here on the water, you know. I don't want issues, I just want to fish. And I want that rain to stay at bay. Because this video has to be at least 3 hours and 45 minutes long. You have to be able to legitimately call the title 4 hours of raw and uncut. Five hours, it's gonna flop. 2 hours, 3 hours, it's gonna flop. 4 hours, you might make $1 million. We've got that tied up. We're gonna need it when we get on one of these other flats. We're gonna be pulling 4. Still trying to get hung up. It is rough around here. Keep all these twisty tie things in here. Keep my rods together. All right, y'all. Need to get more back into the channel. I'm gonna come up to the top of the slope, and if we're not hooked up by then, we're gonna change spots. Probably head over to that other flat and just drag it on around. The other flat will be a little smoother. I will be able to put an extra rod out. See, we're trying to get hung up there. This is a nasty area. I don't want nasty, man. I want to fish. I don't want to be hung up, not on an uncut video. It's getting hot, y'all. That 10-mile-an-hour breeze ain't nowhere around here. Not yet. Does look like a good chance of rain. I think we got hit there, possibly. Yeah, we are getting hit right there. Eat it, man. Don't strip my bait. Biting flies, that's one thing we can talk about. I've been having a lot of them this later summer. Even had them up on the Ohio River. I would spray this old DEET stuff on me, and that stuff stinks. It ain't good for you. And you get that stuff on your hands, and you get that on the bait, you ain't gonna catch fish. So at the house, I got me this bottle of Clorox cleaner. You know, it's got quite a bit of bleach in it. And I kill flies at the house with that. You know, these flies, they get in the kitchen or whatever. And you know, you can spray all this Raid and all this poisonous stuff to kill these flies in your kitchen. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this old bleach stuff. And it's not an instant kill by any means, but it takes them out. It will allow you, it will stun them to where they can't fly, and then you give them another pump. Next thing you know, it's a dead fly. And like I say, it's Clorox. It's you wouldn't want to drink it directly, but it's something you can wipe up and your kitchen's still safe, you know. Kills germs while you're at it. Could be why it kills the fly. A fly ain't nothing but one big germ. It's got so many germs on it, it's turned into a germ. And the Clorox kills germs, you know. But either way, that stuff works. But I put a bottle of that in the boat one day. And if you swat at a fly, he's going to get away every time. But you could point that handle at them, and they just sit there still and just give it a squirt, nail them every time. It's very efficient. I had a bottle of it in my boat, and it actually got my boat smelling a little better, because this boat stinks sometimes. Coming through a little gully. Well, all right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and pee out towards the front of the boat there. It's raw and uncut. I'll do it behind the camera, but I'll let you know what's going on, you know, let you know how it's coming out, how much is coming out. I'll keep you informed. As long as the video stays rolling, so we can call it 4 hours of raw and uncut. Feels pretty good coming out. It's not a great stream, but it's flowing. There's some days, man, it just don't flow at all. It seems like it takes you a half hour to pee. I've got somebody pulling two boats coming up on me. They can see me, but I'm not gonna stop now. I'm gonna hang it all out there, man. You just pulled up here at the wrong time. Yeah. Woo, feels pretty good. And here again, I'm pretty proud of myself. 57 years old, swollen prostate. And I've only peed one time today since I've been out here after a big cup of coffee and some Pepsi at Bojangles. We're getting bit. We're getting bit. We're fixing to pull onto another flat for too long. Y'all just be patient. I'm gonna go right up down there. I see a creek coming out there. We're gonna set up just below that thing. We'll pull the entirety of the creek. Let's see what we got here. 113 minutes. How many hours is that, y'all? That's less than 2 hours. No. If we get, oh, thank you. If I was gonna get hung up, we was gonna call it right here. I don't want to get hung up all day. On a regular video, I'm not that worried about it because I just edited all that out. But this one here, we're pulling at the worst time of day to be doing this. And we just need our baits in the water all we can. Yeah, like I said, most of this we're catching fish in is in the 20-something foot range. But we are gonna hit a little deeper flat. Here for too long. All right, y'all. It's trying to get hung up there, or is that a bite? It's trying to get hung up. If we get hung up, we're going to the other creek. It popped loose. I thought we was going to the other creek. sure did. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get another water. It's hot. Maybe. We might be getting unstuck here. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you a little story about some watermelon here in a minute. Matter of fact, I'm gonna eat a piece. I'll give you a little secret that I've learned about watermelon. They are just about out of season. All you can get now is them little miniature ones that's grown in the greenhouses or whatever. Going over some rough terrain, y'all. Rocky stuff. Okay, the story about the watermelon. Originally, I got into eating watermelon. For one, you can buy one of the things. You cut it up and put it in bags and eat the stuff for days. But it is high in L-arginine or whatever, or one of those, that increases blood flow. Now, I won't tell you why I want to increase blood flow at 57, but I did. But either way, as y'all know, I eat a lot of cheese, right? And that cheese can back you up. It can just stop you up. And I noticed that the more of this watermelon I eat, the less stopped up I am. Two reasons. For one, it's full of moisture. It's 90% water, right? It also has fiber. The closer you get towards the rind, the white part, the more fiber it has. But the fructose in it, which is a type of fruit sugar, is somewhat hard to digest. It's like one of the harder sugars for your body to digest. And what that causes is it can cause diarrhea in people. Well, I don't get diarrhea. I eat too much cheese to ever get diarrhea. I stay constipated. So when you get that digestion problems, it's simply, it just makes it where I can go. You know, instead of getting diarrhea, takes them old hard cheese turds and softens them up, man. Okay, now that looked like a good bite, maybe. But now, I did get a little, it totally cleaned me out one time. And, but I was eating like pounds of this stuff. And I Googled it up, you know, what can cause diarrhea. And you know, watermelon, yeah, it can do it. So I did eat enough of it to get to that point. But now I have backed off, and I've also increased the cheese to kind of balance it out. But yeah, if you eat a lot of cheese, you should add watermelon to your diet. Once I get this eaten, and here again, this is content. You know, it's you get to watch me eat a piece of watermelon. This is going to chew up space. It's going to chew up time while the fish ain't biting. You know. I won't have to flap my gums as much. And as a matter of fact, I can't flap my gums as much while I'm actually chewing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That looked like a bite. That was definitely a bite. Mm-mm-mm. We got that done. That'll make everything come out nicely. All right, y'all, turn left pretty hard here. Now, typically when I move the boat to go to a different location, like we're gonna go across to that flat, you know, you'll see me reeling fish and I might show you a clip of the boat speeding down the river. But that's not the way it works. I've got to pull these lines in. I've got to pull the trolling motor in. And before I actually make that run across the river, I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to let it warm up for a few minutes because I'm not about blowing up my motor. It's too hard to get boat parts now. So that will be the process before we move. And y'all get to live it right here with me. On 4 hours of flapping the gums, raw and uncut. At the wrong time of day. We're hung up there. Pop loose, pop loose, pop loose, pop loose. Please pop loose. I'm begging you to pop loose. Thank you. Still trying to get hung up. I see an island sticking up. We passed it over there and it's just covered in rock. So this is real rocky through here. I'll tell you what, y'all. Last 3 times that fish just blew up by that board. And I've had that happen to me 3 times in a row, 3 trips in a row. Of course, I edit all that out normally. But I believe that's them stripers coming up and checking that board out. Because they go right to it. And then say, okay, I don't want that. And they take off. Which lets me know if someone wouldn't have stolen all my striper gear, I might could catch some stripers out here. But somebody over there in by Cherokee Lake, they put me out of the striper business. And after this video, I really won't need to be in the striper business because 4 hours of raw and uncut, hey, that stuff goes viral. They'll complain if you increase to 30 minutes from a 20-minute video, but you put out a 4-hour video and they're gonna click and watch the whole thing. Don't make sense to me, but a lot of this world don't make sense to me. And it don't have to make sense as long as I'm earning income, getting through this life. And if all I gotta do to do that is come out here and flap my gums for 4 hours straight not even have to edit the video. Hey, I'll take that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, okay, y'all. I think we're in a good spot at the wrong time of day. But either way, getting close to time to change spots. I'm going to increase my speed again just to finish up this area. I got to pulling it slower after I landed that last fish, but we hooked that last fish going faster, so. And I believe we're hung up. We are. There goes the drag. Okay, y'all. We're getting ready to change locations. Hung up. So we will hit the prop, get it to stop. We're going to pull these in real fast. Oh, it just popped loose, I think. Either way, that one's trying to get hung up now, so we may have to get it. And when you get hung up like that, it makes me wonder if that's a trot line when it goes all the way across like that. Unmarked trot line. Trying to beat the rain, y'all. I need at least 3 hours and 40 something minutes out here. Go ahead and pull this. I'll just set this there. Go ahead and pull this. We're gonna burn over to that flat real quick. Crank her on in, Shimano Dakota. Yes, sir. I'm gonna throw. We'll change that one out. It's a little loose. It's been hit by some small fish. Throw that down there. Last one. Then we pull the trolling motor. I'll have to take the fan down to do that. I do not want to get caught in a thunderstorm because I'm about 4 miles from the ramp. That one there, we'll change it out too. I do not travel with the net in this position because what it can do is come up and actually hit me while I'm driving. But if gosh dang phone, if I put it in the suspended position, it can't do that. So we do that for travel. Take the fan down, pull the motor, and we're gonna beeline over to that other area. I think it's deeper than what I want to be, but it's still not too deep for the oxygen to be all jacked up. And it may be the ticket, maybe what we need. Looks like about a half-mile run over there. My motor is warm, so we can safely put the throttle to it. I had a dag blasted bottle come out of my gosh dang boat going down the river there. So let me go back here and get it. We got to get this dag blasted bottle. Yay! Try it again, y'all. Imagine if that thing would have sunk and the video would have been raw and uncut, and then they used that for to prosecute me for littering. You know what I mean? Good thing I had the lid on it and it floated. Yeah! Oh shoot, y'all. Boy, this flat ain't very big at all. Let me see this thing here. There might not be enough flat to drag here, y'all. We may have to go up to this other one. That's a good ways up there. Man, I barely have any flat here at all until we get up to this other one. I mean, it's not 20 yards here. Let me check out my Navionics. I could pull this cove and probably catch some fish, but there's fish right there. Okay, yeah, we're off the, we should have went the other way, y'all. We are totally off. I'm gonna try it just for a minute. But yeah, we need to go another mile that way. We've been 3/4 of a mile this way. We need to be another mile. The flat that I'm looking at the map is actually around that. And I don't want to get that far from the ramp due to the amount of clouds in the sky. This thing's acting stupid. Check steering alignment. Okay. We'll pull this for a second, but this is not much of a flat at all. As a matter of fact, it looks like a good place to get hung up. We're going to be really close to, we need to be up there. It's about a mile. The depth is right here. I like the depth, 34 foot. Y'all, I've lost my knife. And here it is. Normally I would just edit the knife finding part out, but we can't do that. We don't have time, or we can't do it just because we can't cut it out. There's old skinny skipjack here. Skinny old thing, man. We'll pull this for a second. It's rough. I can tell you it's rough by looking at it. It's not a bad place to hook up if I would have stored it a little farther back. Oh shoot, I tried to get hung up right there. This is rough, y'all. Tried to pull it right out of my hand. This may not be draggable. Wrong board. Hey, looky there. Put the wrong board on here. Normally I would edit that out. We'll drag it for a second. I don't think it's a good area to drag as far as being draggable, just by what I'm feeling. But we'll get a couple baits out here for a minute, and we've got to shoot to that other flat, so y'all get to watch me do another boat ride. I'm gonna go ahead and I think that's a head on that. Well, we'll do a chunk. Since this is not a wide flat, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull 3 here. The next one we'll be able to pull 4. But this thing is narrow. Very narrow. Go ahead and speed the boat up to 0.9. That'll get these boards carried out there. Get the setup process over with quicker. Say, this is a good place to hook a fish. It just doesn't last real long. And then it dumps back into that deep channel that I don't want to fish. There is nothing in that channel right now. They are all deep, I mean mid-depth. I'm dyslexic. I say stuff backwards. Okay. Throw on another chunky here. Yeah, this is not a bad spot. We're gonna get hit by a storm, I can see it. And if it's lightning, I'm not gonna enjoy that, I can already tell you. Do another chunk. Yeah, this is not a big flat at all. And it ends right over there. I went to the wrong spot. Drop that down. The depth is right. And it looks like a good spot to hook a fish. Just ain't gonna last long. Yep, ain't gonna last long at all. As a matter of fact, I should probably just pull into this cove since the flat don't last long. So I may just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and pull in this cove one time, y'all. It's not a big cove. Let's go ahead and pull in it. Because as soon as I get started, there ain't no flat left. It's just a small cove, and it's got some of the right depth in it that I want. There we go. The actual channel is back this way, so we're making a hard turn. It's gonna rain, y'all. I can see it coming. Out here at the wrong time of the day. We could get hung up coming in here. This does not look draggable on the map. Okay, y'all. This cove is not going to last long. It is a very small cove, and we're going to go onto the actual flat up here. Now, once I get on that flat, I can get 4 rods out, and we can fish. And we can pull that flat for 4 miles if we want to. And that's when we're going to start catching fish, when we get over there. I thought this was something else, but what I want is way down there, so this river's bigger than what it looks on the map. Oh shoot, there's a drag puller. There's a drag puller. There's a drag puller. Stay on, drag puller. Stay on, drag puller. Look at there, y'all. I told you this was a good spot right in here. Stay on there, old drag puller. Fumble this. I want to slow the boat down because I'm running 0.8. I want to slow the boat down. Sometimes these big ones come unbuttoned. They hit it with such a fury. I'm going to go ahead, slow the boat down to 0.3. Okay. There we go. He's definitely the biggest of the day. Don't know what we got yet. He just hit with a fury. Don't do all that rolling, you might not be hooked good. There he is. Now he's not real big. Oh, shoot, shoot, shoot. He's just ornery. We'll take him though. Yes, sir. Y'all, we wasn't in here real long. Okay. Come on up here. Yeah. No, he ain't real big. Just mean. He hit with a fury, boy. We'll take it. Number 4 in the boat. Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy. Yeah. Fish hit hard, man. I wonder what bait we hooked that on. I think that was a chunk. Good fresh chunk. Y'all, it's getting real dark right above me. Real dark. Yes, sir. I'm gonna cut up another chunk. And like I say, this is just a short little cove here. We won't be in it long, and we're gonna have to go to that other flat to finish this video up. Oh man, I feel that air change temperature. That's a good sign of rain. I did bring an umbrella for my camera, but now if the wind blows and I get a bunch of thunder and lightning, and especially if I was to get struck by lightning, then I can't collect thousands of dollars for making a 4-hour long fishing video. Okay. And that fish hit hard. Buried it. That was in 35 foot. Like I say, this next flat we'll be in is in the 30-foot range, all of it. We'll be able to pull 4 boards. We will go across a series of creeks. It's just going to be a good spot. Feel the wind kicking up. Feel the air temperature change. And I'm going to go ahead and make a beeline towards the back of this cove because I want to get started on that flat back there. That direction. Okay. We're going to do 0.7 coming in this thing. Do not rain. Okay, I actually want to be on this side of it. No, I don't. We're doing it right. We are 36 foot deep right here in the mouth of this thing. Oh, we tried to get hung up there. Cruising towards the back of it. Now, I would expect these creeks to be hotter in October than what they are now. I think they're more or less just staged out on the flap. We'll pull it one time since we're here. And we're going to get on the flat and get set up with four boards out. And I'll tell you what, y'all, if this video was 6 hours long, I would still be better off to put 4 hours in the title. You're getting into false advertisement there, but it's the word 4 hours of raw and uncut that gets people to watch. I don't know why, and I don't care. I just want to make some money like other people. Now that's a nice big mark right there. Actually looks like 2. One dead over the top of the other one. So there is a couple real fish in here. Now whether they hit or not, I don't know. We are at the wrong time of day. Not all these fish are going to eat your bait. But he's going to have a chance to have a look at it. Got some bass breaking off that point over there. We'll give the old creek a quick try here. I think they're more on the outsides of them, but we're here. That looks like white bass popping in it. I don't have a rod to get them. There's a bunch of surface bait over there. It's either white bass or it could be largemouth, but it's more like a white bass type of roll. Come on, fishy, fishy. Come on, fishy, fishy. I'm not much of a talker, y'all. I like silence. I like to hear the birds, feel the breeze. I like the quiet part about fishing. See, fishing and YouTubing is kind of contradicts, you know, what I'm out here for. I am not a flapper of the gums normally. Flap, flap, flap. Okay. The depth is still remaining consistent at 35 foot. One thing about it, this cove is so narrow. If there's anything in here, we're going to go across them. I just don't think it's time for the creek bites yet. I think we're too early for that. Well, y'all, I could sing a song, but I don't sing real well. Play a guitar okay. But singing something you got to do kind of regularly. Get them old vocal cords going. I used to sing some. Used to make money at it, actually, up in Gatlinburg. Pick some old country tunes, some old southern rock tunes. Go home with a few $100 cash, and back then that was good money. Later on, it was made to where you were forced to show proof of health insurance, and that's when I went to work at Blaylock's, just to show health insurance. Because I was making better money picking a guitar at the time. We're hung up and it come loose. We're trying to get hung up there and it come loose. Coming up a slope. Now in the fall, in the winter, man, coming up in those slopes and these coves, you would bust a fish, or even in the spring, about March of the year. See that? That's what I'm talking about. Those fish see that board and they bust at it. They're like, what's that? I know good and well if I was pulling a surface plug, I would be catching some fish right now. That could have been a small striper doing that. Okay, y'all, we need to get on the other flat. I'm gonna go ahead and warm my motor up. We'll pull back here. Go ahead and get her warm. Because we got, I don't know what that, from here, that could be a mile or more to that other flat on the other side of the river. It's a big wide reservoir here. You can see the far bank over there. That's the island we were going around, and we were actually on the other side of it. Pretty good run. I'm gonna drag up here a little shallower, just because I want to see what the coves are doing. I'm experimenting as I'm going. And here again, my suspect is that it's going to be October before these coves are where to be. But this will let me know, and then I'll know not to come back in here on the next Catfish Dave show. And you get to see this stuff with me, you know, how I experiment around out here as I'm going, because as the year transitions, things are changing. And there will eventually be a cove bite with big fish. We're just not quite there yet. Generally water temps are in the 60s, and it is well into late October before that happens. And I will also be catching skipjack in these coves like this at that time of year. Okay, y'all, we popped one fish on this stop. We're gonna go ahead and get set up on a flat that we can, once we start, we can just keep going. We can throw 4 rods out. And here again, as we get away from the hour of suck, bites may just pick up here. That's a bite right there on that left board. Something small, some old channel cat or something. Getting ready to run upriver. Hopefully these baits are still good. Looks good. I'll just lay that down there. I can hear the birds flapping their gums. Definitely got hit there. He pulled my bait just a little bit loose. I'll rehook it once we get up there. There's an old dag-blasted dog barking in my video. I used to get them every video, but I think the economy's gotten worse, and I think it's getting to where groceries and stuff's gotten so high people don't like to feed a dog too. So I think they've either got rid of the dogs, and from stuff I'm seeing on the news lately, they could have possibly ate the dogs. Yeah, there's something weird going on with this. Feels like it's all twisted around. No, it ain't. All right, y'all, we're gonna work up onto that other flat. That'll be our final stop. And we will throw 4 lines out. Go ahead and spit again on camera. Motor's warm. Let's get up there. Okay, y'all, here we are. Get a better look at my map, check out for any blues or any other crazy colors. 24 foot here. It's not bad. Okay. That's where we're at. Gonna go ahead and throw out. We're gonna throw 4 out actually. How bad is it to be hung up? I don't know, I ain't fished it. Should be a little smoother than where we have fished so far. This is a more rocky area of river here, so go ahead and get this set up. Yeah, we're gonna get 4 boards out now. We're getting away from the noon hour, which is good. Go ahead and take it up to speed. Throw them on out. Do I see a scale tip on there? No. Boy, you gotta watch that. You gotta watch that. We are in 23 feet here. I know up that way it's more 30-something foot. What I have here is a huge, huge creek system. There's another one up here. I don't think we're going to get over 30 feet, so we won't let a ton of line out. There's something funky on the bottom there. Could be just a thick school of bait. I can feel my line, and it is a hard bottom. It's not a muddy bottom. It's so I guess this is just a rocky section of reservoir here. Yo, no way! I put the wrong board on twice. Now, what's the odds on a raw and uncut video? I do it twice. I've done it before, but not twice in one trip. No. There's a patch of blue catfish. This thing's going the wrong way. Do I have it on heading hold? No, I don't. We sure don't. There's the problem with that. Yeah, man, this is rough. I can feel it. See, normally, you know, having the boat going the wrong direction, all that stuff, I would edit that out. But I would be losing big money if I did. So we're going to leave it in there. Someone's always messaging me. Always messaging me. It's going to take a second for my line to clear where I can cast. Since I initially went, but yeah, that's just a huge cove back there. And that goes back there for miles. Now in the fall, October, November, I'd be all about a spot like that. Go ahead and give this a toss over here to the left. I just don't want to hang them up. Yeah, what we're looking to do is ride this flat, but close to the channel ledge. That's where I think they're going to be at. Go ahead and lock her down. Very few fish compared to what I normally catch, but normally I might start at this time, but then just start bombarding the fish like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on till dark. But the problem is We started this video before noon and it's uncut. So we're forced. What is this? Shimano something. Oh, I bet you that come out of one of them reel handles. We are forced to fish the toughest part of the day on video. Hey, that's a challenge. That is a challenge. I'm letting too much line out of that one because I'm flapping my gums. I am under pressure to flap my gums for 4 hours straight to keep content. Go ahead and pull this closer. Another message. Another message. Could be one of them old girls sending me pictures, and then I'll tell them I'm broke, and then the pictures will stop. I'm broke. Mina will have no money. Now that's all gonna change after this video. Look at that. I was probably in the way of the camera, but another fish broke at that board. If I was pulling a topwater, man, I'd be getting nailed out here. That's 3 times today I've had a fish come up and act like it's gonna hit my board. Yeah. Okay, y'all, we're gonna get another rod out. We're gonna get serious. I could run 5, run one down the middle, you know, but I like leaving myself a pathway to reel these things in when they're on. Go ahead and pull that there. Leave a nice open space in the back of the boat there. Yeah, this is not near as deep as I thought it was. It's 19 foot. I know it's gonna be 30 something foot up higher over here, so that's what we're looking for. I don't know how, okay, I turned that clicker on. Oh, look at it. That crazy fish come up to the top of the water. He knocked my board loose and he's hooked. What in the world have we got on here? He's got in my other line, y'all. But that gosh dang fish, he might have looped himself hitting that board. We're gonna have to pull all this in. I hope we see this fish. I wanna see what it is. He's definitely not hooked in the mouth, and so he's hard to pull in. Let me go ahead and stop this boat. Don't come off, I wanna see what you are. He come off, y'all. We had some kind of fish loop-de-loop. He hit at that board, trying to eat that board, and he got loop-de-loop around my line. You gotta be kidding me. I wanted to see what it was. That's about that's the craziest thing I've had happen pulling a planer board right there. He hit at it and got tangled in the line. Was lassoed for a minute. Okay, let's put this out here. Let this out. I thought he knocked my board off, but he didn't. Yeah, man, if I was pulling a topwater across here. Okay, I feel some rain. We may have to put the umbrella on here. I desperately want to get out of this 20 foot of water and get more into 30. Now I know the flat up this way is more of 30 foot range because I'm not seeing any catfish activity here yet. We're definitely a little deeper. Okay. Actually, I want to flip this here. Yeah, we have got to get off this. It is raining, y'all. Go ahead and flip that. Working my way back to this channel ledge, and we're going to be on the flat, but closer to the channel ledge. Go ahead and put another board on if we didn't lose it. Yeah, I would like to know what kind of fish is attacking my planer boards, man, because it's happened like 3 days in a row, and I've been editing it out, but y'all get to see everything. That's if you've been watching now for 174 minutes. How many minutes is 4 hours? That's 240 minutes. So we don't have but about another hour to go in this video. And I could technically make it as long as I want and just do the title that way. Maybe they won't flag me. I have seen him go over 4 hours before, so I don't consider myself into the good section until we get into this 30-foot zone of flat here. Okay, we're dipping down into 25 now. Things are looking better. 26, here we go. Now we should be coming into fish zone, and I'm already seeing the first couple of small fish on my screen right off the bottom. Yeah, they're just wanting to be in a certain depth. $27. Oh shoot, I hope it don't get too deep. I didn't have my line set that far out. I threw in 20, so if this thing, I thought it was initially gonna be 40 foot, and it may be. If it is, we may have to pull in and retie because I might not have enough line out. Okay, 30 feet. Got a little bit of drizzling rain. Pulling 4 rods. According to this Garmin, there's a hole in this flat, but this Garmin is wrong a lot on what's actually out here. I've seen it say it's a hole. When you go over it, it's a hump. And I've seen it say it's a hump and you go over it and it's a hole. Up on the Mississippi, Ohio rivers, it'd tell you you were on a flat, you'd be over a 45-foot hole. I mean, it was just all jacked up. There is actually a way in here, and this boy told me about this up on the Ohio River. But you click something on here, and it will actually record the bottom for you and redo your maps the right way. You have to ride over it. The more you ride over it, the more detailed it becomes. But when I go to these places, James, Ohio, Mississippi River, and my maps aren't right, all I got to do is click on that setting and ride over the area I'm planning to fish, and it will map that river out. It'll let me know exactly what's a hole and exactly what's a hump. I haven't used that feature yet. I just found out about it on the Ohio River trip. Okay, we're now pulling the flat more into a better depth, as long as my baits are on the bottom 34 feet. I hope they are, because I threw out in 20. But this is what we want to pull, as long as our baits are on the bottom. We'll know here in a bit, y'all. If I'm not getting bit at all, I'll know something's wrong. Here, I'd rather not do that on a 4 hours raw and uncut video, but again, who wants to see me reel every single line in and re-tie it, you know, because now that's a good fish. We're a round fish now, 35 feet. We are in the area of some fish. We just got a bite, so I know that bait's on the bottom. We may have enough line out, because one of them got hit. We know we got one of them on the bottom in 35 foot. Okay, y'all, all we can do is be patient, see what time it is here. Yeah. We are past the hour of suck. Says here it's 2:08. Now we'll just pull this flat. Here again, I would catch way more fish. Start the video about 3 o'clock and then fish till dark. I would probably catch 30 fish, but it is what it is. Old Weigels did not want to take my ATM card, so I ended up going to another Weigels out of the way over there in Harriman. Ended up going to the Bojangles. Blah, 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 blah. I was hoping to actually catch the morning bite, but that didn't happen. 36 feet. I'm going to go ahead and bump my speed up. I think we did hook one fish today at 1 mile an hour, so let's at least go 0.9 until we start running across some bites. Because the way this works is this is a really big flat here. And there's going to be a few hot spots in this big flat. And we've got to come across those hot spots. These fish move. Blue cats move every day. So we've got to hit these hot spots. Typically that would all get cut out, but not today. And it gives me something to flap my guns about, you know, just telling you all this stuff. Oh, there was the first bite. First bite, we know that bait's on the bottom and 36 feet. This is the depth I want to fish here. We've technically had 2 bites since we have pulled to this spot, so things are looking up. I hope we come across a good one. The big fish in this lake, like I say, they're not guaranteed. If you come out at the right time on a hot bite, you might see several. You could go several trips without seeing one. Don't seem to be getting hung up too bad in here, and I like that. All right, y'all. Yeah, what can we flap the gums about? YouTube, you know. So many guys, they try to make money in every aspect of it. They're selling you merchandise of all kind of stuff. From clothing, they rebrand some Chinese blank, put their name on it, rods, blah, blah, blah. They do everything they can to sell you something. And then you have the live video where people can send you money. I've never done that. Never done it one time. Never done none of this stuff. What's the new one now? And they try to push this stuff to you. I mean, they push it. Constantly send you these notifications, these reminders. The other one is channel members. They pay so much a month to call themselves a member of your channel. And I guess you're supposed to come up with something extra, maybe show them secret clips, or maybe, I don't know, share spots. I don't know what you're supposed to do for the extra money. Yeah, I never done that. Never asked to set up the membership thing. Yeah, I do have, and I set this up a long time ago, several years ago, a PayPal link, and it's on my channel. I initially set it up and I advertised it on like one video. This has been years ago. People found out about it for a while, and I would occasionally get some money, you know, 10, 20 bucks or something. But people have pretty much, it's hard to find, I guess, unless you really comb the channel over. It's on there. It's on my channel if you know how to find it. I don't even know how to find it, but I do have that. And at this point, it ain't done me much good because, like I said, I never advertise it, and it's not the easiest thing to find. And they probably don't want you to find it because they'd rather you do live chats, and they would rather you do the memberships because they take this huge cut out of that. That's why they want you to do it. They get a huge cut for it. But here again, I may not have to do all that. There's a bite. Because I'm putting out one of these 4 hours of raw and uncut, flapping the gums fishing videos. Another bite. Left rod. I'm going through some bait stealers now. We are on the desired flat. Now we have to come up to the desired spot on this flat, and it's a big flat. Cruising 0.9. You know, I need to check. This phone has been just going off and going off and going off and going off. They murdered Stevenson. I don't know what you're talking about here. Let's see what he's saying here. J.R. Hall. He is a catfish guide. Huh. Okay, he's telling me about these fish stealers that were living in Alabama, illegally catching trophy fish from Alabama to send to these pay lakes in Ohio, and I guess they got busted. Yep. He's telling me about that. Yeah, Alabama, I've been checked in Alabama. They went all through my boat down there. They don't mess around in Alabama. There's a bite. They literally, I had my cameras and stuff up here. They made me move all my cameras and bags and stuff to get everything out. They wanted to see a throw. They wanted to see so many life jackets. Of course, they checked my license. Right. And I had this fire extinguisher all nice and pretty down there. And why is my line all jacked up like that? But either way, I had to pop it loose so that they could check whatever on it. And yeah, and it's still loose down there, probably getting all rusted up. First fish on this flat. We've had some numerous bites here. Once we got into the desired depth, there she is. A Watts bar size fish. Pulling 0.9. They seem to want it at faster speeds today. And is it because they're really wanting it at the faster speed? Or is it because the faster speed is carrying us to the fish quicker, and so we're getting bit quicker? You know, like I say, they're scattered out. He got my bait. The fact that it's gone, I'm gonna guess this was a chunk. And the chunks have done considerably better than the head pieces today. Open that old beak. We got that loose. Yeah, now we're back in 33 foot. This is the desired depth I want to fish. This is where I think most of the action is going to be. There you go. Old Watts bar size fish. Yeah. Out here at the wrong time of day. And I don't mind fishing the wrong time of day. And I'll tell you why. Because if this 4 hours of raw and uncut thing actually works for more people than one, the only way you can make that kind of video work is just constantly flap your gums. Well, if the bite isn't great, it is forcing me to flap my gums. You know, keep content going. And so it's good exercise in case this works out in the future. You know, if I come out here during a hot bite at the right time of day, you know, I've gotten used to flapping my gums, and the fact I won't have to flap them as much because I'm reeling in more fish, you know, I'm just going to be trained for it. And who wouldn't want to do it if you're going to make 12 times the paycheck for the same amount of views as a 20-minute video? Who wouldn't want to? I think everybody on YouTube needs to make their videos 10 hours long. And I think they will be successful as long as they put 4 hours in the title. 32 feet. Got some kind of junk all over my line. You know, I just ain't no gum flapper. If I was, I'd been a rapper. But hey, I'll learn. Anything can be learned. I can Google stuff, informative stuff to talk about, flap my gums about. A little more drizzling rain going on here. There we go. These towels come in handy. Okay. Yeah, this flat is looking good, 34 feet. That's what I wanted. You look at Navionics and it tells you it's 40 foot deep. This thing ain't 40 foot deep. Go ahead. It is a really big, big, long flat. I could pull this flat for the next, it would probably take 5 hours to get to the end of this one particular flat. And I have actually pulled that upper end of this flat before and done pretty good up there, but here again, it was later in that day. Now up here, things could get a little weird because we're gonna cross this channel. Could be a hot zone, could be a hang-up zone. And if the rain continues, I'm gonna have to put the umbrella on the camera. And here again, talking about the umbrella just gives me a reason to flap my gums. I'm a gum flapper. Okay, 1 hour and 95 minutes, and we need 245 minutes here, so 240. I'm not good at math. Not good at all at it. I need to get back over here to the right. I want to be on this ledge. This thing is bending around all funky. Let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's some funky. Ooh, could you imagine if I was accidentally said something starts with F? I couldn't cut it out. And I wouldn't have meant to said it, but I get my words messed up. Man, they could have. That right there could have ruined the video, because you'll get less ads if you say that kind of stuff, even if it's accident. Yeah, you know, talk about the foul language, you know. I have tried for the most part, and here again, I edit my videos. I ain't gonna say I don't cuss out here. But I try to edit them off. All that stuff out of here, my worst moments. Because, you know, people's got kids watching. Now, they ain't gonna watch this. Ain't no kid gonna sit there for 4 hours. But some guy at work, you know, wanting to cheat his boss out of a good day's work, just get through the day, 4 hours at a time, that guy might watch. He's listening. Even if he ain't watching, he's listening. I think the guy said they put it on, that guy said he puts it on headphones. But hey, either way, it's a view, you know. One view at 4 hours long is 12 times the money as a 20-minute video. 12 times. Hey man, with inflation, I can deal with that. You know, I like steak. I like the expensive steaks. Ribeyes. Fillets with the higher marble content, you know, the kind that just melt in your mouth. If 4 hours of raw and uncut is successful for me, I'm eating fillets and ribeyes for breakfast, you know. I'm gonna hire a maid to cook the stuff. I'll be making so much money, I could hire a maid that actually speaks English. Looks good. Hey, I won't have to meet no girl online then, you know. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course, I don't know if his spoke English or not, but he done that. Had all that fame, had that name, and he was with the maid. That's what I heard. No, I don't know, you know. I was a fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger in my young day. Get some small bites. Became less of a fan in his older years. We didn't see eye to eye on some stuff. But he was a very driven person if you read his stories, you know. He was a very selfish person. Talked about leaving his parents, not going to his dad's funeral, because he was all about his career at the time, and he made it big. He was some broke kid from Austria, and you know, he made it some at bodybuilding, but man, you get into the movies and all that stuff, next thing you know, governor. I mean, he hit the pinnacle. As far as an achiever, yeah, he would definitely went farther than most people in life. Another bite way over there to the left. What in the world is this channel doing? This flat is so big that it says I need to go almost down the river to get back to the channel. And we're doing best closer to the channel, but I keep getting up going that way. So we're gonna head that way, even though I need to be heading that way. I wanna get back close to the channel edge first. That's where we're getting most of the action. It's a big wide flat, y'all. You can see from here to the bank over there, all this is flat. Got 70 foot of river, another 100 yards this way. I don't understand this. And look, let me look at my maps here. According to this, if I'm going this way, how can we not hit that island? I don't understand it. Okay, y'all, it's umbrella time. Oh, okay, I see what it is. That's not the river. Okay. Man, this river bent hard right there. That's actually another creek. That's the river. So I am got all disorientated out here. This is a super hard bend in the river. Get this umbrella on this camera. I've had this thing get wet and act crazy for a month after that. You get to see it all. Normally I would cut out this whole umbrella deal, but we're not today, because by me telling you that I'm putting the umbrella on the camera, it's helping me make 12 times the money. 12 times. We're talking about English speaking made territory. There we go. Yeah. English speaking made territory. The rain is coming in sideways. It's still hitting my mic. Okay. Now we're in 40-something foot. Which is not what I want to be in. Okay, now we're going back to 30s. We're going through a little channel here that leads into this creek. That's why it got deeper. Let's see if we can go through it and not get hung. I'm gonna be soaked by the time 240 minutes gets here. We've got 35 minutes, y'all. Pull this off. And it wasn't no hot bite by any means. My tonsils and throat's gonna be sore from all this flapping the gums. I've talked more today than I would normally talk in 2 months. Getting bit over there. Yeah, we went through a little dip right there. And we're getting bit as we're going through the dip. Just small stuff. One reason someone might not want to do 4 hours of raw and uncut is if they have a bad trip. And that can happen, you know. Especially if you come out here at this time of day. We're hung up, come up loose. We're coming over that channel dip there. Okay, now we're back into the desired depth, 34 feet. I like that better. Please don't get hung up, lift board. Please don't get hung up. That'd take the rest of my day up. Okay, now we're going right. All right, y'all. I hope we hit a hot spot on this flat somewhere. So far, it has been slow. Slow, slow, slow. This is reality fishing here. A lot of people won't fish by themselves, y'all. I had a guy message me the other day, man, if you'll just take me skipjack fishing with you. I get people message me all the time. He said that he had a fishing buddy, and this fishing buddy moved, and they were out all the time. They were posting pictures, you know. And since this guy has moved, he says he really ain't fished. He says he don't like to fish by himself. So some people, they're only going to fish if they can have somebody with them because they want to flap their gums. You know, me, I'm out here by myself. He's hitting it hard. I'm going to have to turn the rudder here, get my boat. Wind's blowing this way, so I'm trying to correct some boat crookedness by the wind without throwing a drift sock. Hopefully they ain't cleaned my baits off because we have had some small bites. The biggest way I think I messed up on this flat was getting too far up onto it, and we're just now getting closer to the channel edge. The one time I got hit, we were right on the channel, or we were not on it, but we were close to it. Same depth. And here again, it's that time of year that the fish are staging up in front of the creeks, but they're not really going in them yet. So yeah, they're still wanting to be close to this deep zone out here. So as my boat enters the deep zone or close to it, we should see an increase in fish. And we might not catch another fish the rest of the gosh dang day. And I'll still put it on here because it's 4 hours of raw and uncut, flapping your gums catfishing. Come on, fishy. Come on, fishy. There's a bite. You know, I'll tell you what this could do for me is, like I say, I will sometimes say some foul language out here that I edit out. But if I do these and make a habit of it, well, it gets me used to not cussing out here on the river, you know. It could clean my language up a little bit if I start doing these 4 hours of raw and uncut. Flapping your gums catfishing. So it could Another small bite, yeah. It could improve me, you know. If I start making 12 times the money, I would be in a better mood. I'd have less reasons to cuss. If I was making 12 times what I am now, shoot, I'd be hooping and hollering. Hooray! You gonna eat that or not, fish? I'd probably have a hard time coming out here to fish once I got that hot looking English speaking maid cooking my breakfast for me. Yeah. We can dream, y'all. But it's like I say, you don't know until you throw. And you don't know until you do a 4-hour catfishing show and post it on YouTube. I might not be the lucky one. I might be better off with 45-minute videos and make what I make. Have to cook my own gosh dang breakfast the rest of my life. Have to eat eggs instead of steak sometimes. Maybe what's in the cards. But you don't know that if you don't shoot for the stars. Speaking of cars, you know, if I was making 12 times the money, yeah, I could see getting a big truck, bigger, wider boat, you know, putting a grill on the boat. And maybe bringing the old English-speaking maid with me. Because if I was making 12 times the money, she'd be trying to kiss my butt. We're at a dead time of day here. I tell you what, the days have gotten shorter. Maybe it's possible that this is the new noon. You know, where things have gotten just jacked around with the time and the days. Maybe this is the new hour of suck, considering we have however less time in the day now. Here in mid-September. I hate seeing that many small bites because you wonder if you're just pulling 4 rods with no bait on it out here being raw and uncut. Just burning the clock up. It can happen. It's happened before, but I cut it out. Cut it out, made the video 30 minutes, 45 minutes, went ahead and took my measly 20,000, 30,000. That was a good bite there. It just didn't commit. Go ahead and take my measly 20, 30,000 views. No, I'd rather get 48,000 in 24 hours. Yeah, I got to making that kind of money. I got done fishing. I just have some dude come out here to my boat, pick me up in a helicopter, take me back to the house, and then some other guy drive the boat back to the ramp, take the boat back to the house for me. Oh, I believe we missed him. And, you know, get home quicker, have more time to spend with that English-speaking maid. We still got bait. Yeah, he's chewed the bottom out of it. We've got it. Should I reuse it? I don't know. I'm gonna reuse it. I'm in one of those moods. From what I'm seeing out here, so far, I'm just not that serious right now. There we go. We are getting closer to the ledge than what I was. That bait over there might not even have a bite on it. It got hit quite a few times. I probably should check it just to be safe. Matter of fact, it got a really hard bite, so I am gonna check it. Because that's where I expect most of my bites is over here by the ledge. And it don't feel like we got any bait, so. It's a good thing I checked it. Good thing, man. Yes, sir. I seen that hard hit. It's hard to catch fish without bait. Don't matter if the video's 20 minutes long or 6 hours. You ain't got no bait on the hook, fish ain't gonna give it a look. That works for catfish, it works for snook. Gotta have bait on the hook. Go ahead and flip that. And I could put heads on, stay on the hook better, but I haven't gotten that much response from the heads, I don't think. There's a lesson in all these videos, and the one today is do not fish at the crappiest time of day if you don't have to. I'd been better off to get started later, actually. Fish that last 4 hours before dark. And I know that. But sometimes I'm just not as driven as old Arnold Schwarzenegger. If I was that driven, I probably would have just skipped the Bojangles biscuit. Got out here. You should see what it's like pulling this boat around the drive-through. I about got stuck in a couple of them. Riding up on the curb and everything else. They're not necessarily designed for someone pulling a boat. You have to realize I started out bank fishing. And so pulling through Bojangles used to not be a problem. I should probably check all the baits. I'm pretty sure the headpiece is still on there. We did have a series of small bites though. La-dee-dee. Where are we at, y'all? We don't have long to go. Another 19 minutes. If I can just flap my gums for 19 more minutes, man. 19. Sun's starting to get in the camera. We have covered some ground in this video. That cove way over to the left, that's where we were fishing. That's an island. And then we shot straight out the other side of it and went all the way across the river, pulled the fish out of the mouth of that cove. Then we rode all the way up to here at the mouth of this big one. So we have covered some water, and you had to watch every bit of it. Normally I'd be a nice guy and cut all that out. Not to put the viewers through that. But hey, I'd like to make 12 times the money. 12 times. I could get me one of those Apple smartwatches. Well, we already had a bite by the ledge. We had a bite there. Both boards by the ledge got hit. Pretty quick after we got bait back on there. And that's where they're going to be at today. Later on, towards dark, they'll probably move up closer to the bank. That's what I would suspect. Yeah, man, I'd get me one of those Apple smartwatches. I don't know what they do, but I would get one. I don't even wear a watch, but I'd get one just because I could afford it at that point. Probably get me a house right here on the water. That'd be my dock. Wouldn't even have to drive through here. Walk out of that deck, kiss the English-speaking maid goodbye. Say, baby, I'll be back in 4 hours. And then when I get back, it's going to be all you and me, because I don't even have to edit the video. Because I'd rather make 12 times the money. 12 times. 12 times the money. I could buy that house and that house over there. If she ever got on my nerves, I could just go spend the night next door. If she was getting on my nerves, I might have another English-speaking maid in that house. Now, if she was a good woman, I wouldn't do that. I'd just stick to the one house. But yeah. And if I'd done that, I wouldn't need the helicopter to come pick me up. Okay. Oh, stay on, stay on. Right off that ledge. Right off that ledge. Yeah. I figured we'd get him off that ledge. Come on in here, old fishy. Come on in here, old fishy. We're gonna slow the boat down to about 0.3. He ate that chunk. And he's not kicking around a lot like a small fish. So let's see what we got. I'm interested to see. It could be a small fish just turning sideways, but it don't feel like it. Yeah. See what we got under here. He ain't no little dinky one. Feels pretty good so far. Feels pretty good. Little bit of drag coming out. More drag coming out. Do we have the biggest fish of the day right here? believe that's the biggest one of the day. Yeah, he's ornery. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a good one. That's one of the better fish for this lake if he stays on. Nope. Come on, brother. Still pulling drag. Now we're getting away from that hour of suck. Come on up here, old jumbo head. We got him, y'all. Got a quality fish. I'll take that. Let's see what this time says on here. 2 hours and 27 minutes. No, 227 minutes. So we're like 13 minutes away from 4 hours. I believe we can go ahead and call it 4 hours of raw and uncut. Let's go ahead and get this in. It's going to be cool. Not even edit this video. I wonder if you can just take it straight off the camera and put it straight onto YouTube since I don't have to edit it. Huh. If that's the case, I'm going to go make me a bait run 4 hours long and film another one. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I'll take that for this lake. It's decent fish. Yeah. Old big headed thing. Come on up out of here. He's got an odd look to his color, almost like a freckled look. Where's that hook at, brother? Right back there. Okay. Yes, sir. I'll spin the boat where the sun hits this fish nice. We'll call it. I'm tired of flapping my gums. I'm tired of flapping my gums. Go ahead. I gotta start raining. I gotta get this umbrella down or it's gonna block the sun. It's good in the rain, and it can help keep the camera cooler. I'm gonna turn on my little Insta360 and pop a photo here. Turn the boat out of the sun and check out this fish. I'll tell you what, since the breeze is blowing that way, I'm just going to spot lock here. That will blow my boat around. This net out of the way. Oh man, you gonna make it rough on me. Get down in there. You gonna make it rough on me. Pop a picture here once the sun gets right. Little more, little more, little more. Give it a little bump, y'all. Just a little bump with the boat. Okay. Pop a picture of this dude. Let him go. I'm gonna pop one more because he turned his tail. Oh, come on. Woo! 4 hours of catching catfish and flapping my gums. All right, y'all. Lesson of the day. If you come out here at the wrong time of day, it can be a slower bite. You got to see me break things down. Try a little of this, try a little of that. You know, learned a little bit about me and my thoughts on English-speaking maids. This is a video. There was fish in the video. That makes it a fishing video. This is Catfish Day with another one. Signing out.